It's time for
Stack and Smash Radio.
Macy's sales clerk checking out my package.
Not part of the Jodie Foster fan club anymore that I created.
Hey, that's me and he's mine.
I just have a very hard time expressing my emotions, and I can't stop from yelling.
And we are back. Welcome to the show. This is Stack and Smash Radio. That is you. That is you. Welcome to the show, Rob.
Way to drop your phone, Jesse.
That's how we start the show, always. This is Stack and Smash Radio. This is episode number 16. We are broadcasting live from the greatest bar, Boston, Massachusetts, 262 Friend Street. Come on by. There's free appetizers for the next 2 hours that we never get to eat because we do our show, and then they all get eaten while we do our show.
And if we do get to eat them, they're super cold. But the chicken tenders here are freaking amazing.
They are actually fantastic. So mozzarella sticks are good, too. Anyway, swing by, eat the appetizer. That's how it's going to go. So
this is actually, guys, going to probably, as long as we do everything well, going to be my favorite show that we've done so far. We have a lot of content for you guys. We have sitting in a car with Colin. We have stuff from Comic-Con today. We didn't even have a chance to change our shirts. We just ran from there to here, threw segments together. It's going to be a crazy show.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, we just came back from Comic-Con. It was interesting. It was my first Comic-Con. It was your first Comic-Con, and we spoke with a lot of really cool people. People in costumes, the comics, obviously, the celebrities and everything, and then it was also more. There was a lot more people than I thought there was going to be. There was a lot more costumes than I thought there was. I thought maybe like half the people would be dressed up, half wouldn't, but actually most of them were, and we were some of the only ones that weren't dressed up.
Right, and we're going to get into all of that.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So
definitely.
Be looking forward to that. Jesse, what have you been up to this week?
Well, we did a couple shows over the weekend. We're doing a lot of production, working on a few cool projects. 10 to 2 a.m. doing the after party, DJing, rocking out. Should be a good time. Tomorrow night we're in Plymouth, Massachusetts at the waterfront. Waterfront's always a good time. And other than that, just not too much. What about you?
Not a very busy week for me per se, but I have a lot of mental stuff to get ready for. I have a big poker tournament coming up at Foxwoods on August 19th. It's a six-max tournament. It's the World Series of Poker circuit event. It's the event I play every year. Max tournaments, and that just means that there's only 6 people per table, and it's just such a, to me, a better format.
People at the table, it's just you get a better read on people. The table moves a little faster. There's not too many people to worry about. You don't forget about that quiet guy sitting in the corner that doesn't play any hands. You know what I mean?
You're more
some huge guy just kind of leaning over your shoulder.
I just love him. I just wish all poker was eight-handed maximum at all times.
Absolutely.
10-handed is just way too much, but that's another argument for another day.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about poker. We don't talk too much. This is Stack and Smash Radio. The term Stack and Smash we kind of derived off poker, and so we don't talk too much about poker. We got Ronnie Bard on the show last week. Thanks to Ronnie for being on the show. Ronnie was fantastic.
World Series bracelet winner. In the main event 5 times in a row, which is unheard of.
Absolutely
just
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So thanks again to Ronnie for being on the show. He was good. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, it's available on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/DWN Radio, Dirty Water News Radio, and you can check out that stream. A little bit shaky. It was kind of skippy a little bit, so bear with it. But, it was still there. Good content, good stuff. If you're looking to learn a little bit about that, that was cool. We also had our main man, Steve Pico, on the show. Steve is here. He just did his show. And it was a fantastic mustache, and I like the mustache.
Mustaches are great.
Yeah, it had a great texture.
And not to drag this out too much longer, guys, but we have some really good guests lined up for the next coming weeks and months that we've been working on, so you guys are really going to like that.
Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac's coming back. He's not shot anymore.
I just want to say Tupac, actually. He's not a guest. Sometimes I just want to say Tupac. All
right.
Teach his own.
All right. I was hoping but I guess you didn't want to do that.
I guess not.
Anyways, do you remember that time that? So here's a fun story to just sidetrack us. Me and Jesse were in a car one day, and I don't know what prompted this, but he just broke out into this perfect E40 impersonation, and he's never done it again. It's the greatest
E40
thing.
just literally just embodied my body. Embodied my body.
Yeah, he embodied it.
He embodied my whole body.
Sounds very sexual.
I for the first time and the last time I tried just impersonating E40, and it was spot on. And it was so spot on that I decided never to do it again.
Yeah.
And, it came, and it's gone.
Much better than my Macho Man impersonation and the
If you haven't seen the Macho Man impression that Rob did last week, I don't know what camera I'm looking at right now, but I'm just going to point at this one. Look us up on YouTube, youtube.com/stackandSmash, and you can see the preview video that we did for this week's episode, and Rob came in and did his Macho Man voice, and it was
basically if
it was
Macho
spot on.
Frog had a kid,
it would be Rob Coakley.
it would be me.
It would be Rob Coakley.
Yeah, so, I mean, whatevs.
Whatevs. That's okay. Anyways, so on this show, we're going to air a segment. I went out to Boston Commons, not Boston Commons, Quincy Market.
Quincy Market. Dude.
Down the street from here, we checked out street performer / sort of a comedian / he actually used a different word in the interview, and I don't remember what that was.
Carney. We should.
He was. We went around. I checked out his performance.
Unicycle enthusiast.
A unicycle enthusiast / thrower of knives extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are normal.
Those are the terms that he goes by. People are like, oh, what do you do for work? He's like, oh, unicycle enthusiast.
Unicycles, I get enthused about them.
He's pretty enthused about unicycles.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic about unicycles. Anyways, well, not only is he enthusiastic about unicycles, but he actually rides a 10-foot unicycle, which is insane. He'll pull people out of the crowd everywhere. He doesn't have a car. He has a unicycle.
Are we writing a movie about Colin right now?
I think so. This is just the most epic intro to anybody ever. But no, Colin was great, man. I went to high school with him, and he was always crazy in high school. He's always crazy stuff, and he played the bagpipes, which is just the most obnoxiously loud, whiny instrument of all time. But, yeah. I mean, he does it well, whatever. So he actually incorporates...
But can you play the bagpipes well, or can you just play them so that they make the noises they're supposed to make?
I mean, I could recognize the songs he was playing, so I think hey. Right, you know what? It's better than the recorder. You remember the recorder?
I can play Hot Cross Buns on the recorder.
Recorder's the worst. Like, people make fun of the accordion a lot. They're like, oh, the accordion is the worst instrument. But, I mean, people can sound pretty good on an accordion. But recorder, it doesn't matter how good you are at playing an accordion. You will never sound good in an accordion. It is the worst. True. That is like Satan was like, huh. All right, I'll make this. and that's what he came up with, and that's what he ran with. And that's what it was. So, you know, that is an awful instrument. But anyway. Cool segment called Sitting in a Car with Colin, or Sitting in a Car with Kilted Colin.
With Kilted Colin.
Kilted Colin. He also wears a kilt. I don't know if he's Scottish or not, but I would assume so since he wears a kilt.
He might not be.
Who knows?
Maybe he just likes to wear it.
You don't need an excuse to wear a kilt. You just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Anyways, what else we got going on the show?
We're going to try to get to a weird news story of the week. We're also going to try to get to the top 5 countdown, which is weird Massachusetts laws. We have a lot of content for you guys this week, so if we don't get to something.
You know what we didn't get to was last week. Not only did we not get to the countdown, but we actually previewed the countdown twice. And up next, it's our countdown. We aired this thing. We never did the countdown. So this week we promised that the countdown is just going to be 10 times better. That's the game plan for this week.
If we get to it.
If we get to it.
Yeah, so it's actually a weird Massachusetts law, so if we don't get to it this week, we will get to it next week.
Yes. Anyways, how are we doing on Kilted Colin? We going up there? 98%, which means we are almost ready for Kilted Colin.
I'm pretty pumped about it.
I'm pretty pumped about it, too. We're talking to our glorious intern. He just actually came with us to Comic-Con, so he's behind the scenes. We're just going to wave to him.
Yeah.
You can't see him,
but you're never going to see
his
face.
We're waving to him. All right, intern, if we had the ability to run the weird news story of the week, do you know how to play that clip? All right, so here's what you're going to do. Play the clip, mute our microphones. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the weird news story of the week here on Stack and Smash Radio. And we are back. This week, the news story of the week, in which is weird, brought to you by the fine folks at Stack and Smash Radio, is brought to you by the fine folks at Smash. Anyways, what do we got, Rob?
All right. This is a pretty fun one, guys. A Nebraska man was sentenced Tuesday to 180 days in jail for driving drunk with a car full of chickens. Many of them were crushed to death. Luis Motolo Placio was stopped by Grand Island police in January for driving with his headlights off. They noticed that he was visibly drunk, officers said, and in the back of his car he had a cage full with 100 chickens. Many of the chickens died while trapped in the vehicle. Only 58 of the 100 chickens were alive. The other 42 had been crushed under the weight of chickens on top. None of the birds were in cages. The surviving 58 chickens were taken to the Central Nebraska Humane Society after the early morning stop. Do I think the chickens have been abused? Absolutely. If you could see the pictures of the width and depth that were kept, they literally crushed each other because there was no place to move, and at the time we don't know how long they were in the vehicle, said Lori Deathlaw, the executive director of the Central Nebraska Humane Society. Here's a fun fact too. This is just where it takes a complete crazy turn.
Okay.
Prior to his DUI bust, Motolo Placio served 3 years in prison for shooting a man in the leg while butchering a pig in his garage.
While butchering a pig, he also shot a man in the leg.
That is what happened.
I don't want to get to that news story because that's too much for my brain to handle. But let's go back to the last news story. All right. I want to start with this. First of all, the need that they have to I don't know. I mean, I guess he just deserves whatever he gets.
He's a psychopath.
Is he a psychopath, or was he transporting chickens, which let's keep in mind that, who knows, probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of chickens are slaughtered every week for Americans to eat and
Correct.
the world to eat. So it's like,
they're transferred in cages, but continue.
But yeah, I mean, obviously this guy had a little bit too many to transfer at the time. I'm not sticking up for him at all, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
Do you want to know why?
I don't think he belongs in jail. I think he belongs to get whatever rights he has to handle chickens.
It's a 6-month jail sentence, and he's also fined $1,000, and he's unable to drive for the next 15 years.
Okay, I can agree with that. You know what? I even agree with him going to jail because he's an idiot, and it's just like, dude, take less chickens. Take 2 trips. Take 3 trips.
Here's why he's a psycho. Because he shot a man in the leg while butchering a pig.
See, this is what I wasn't going to go into as the other news story. But just basing off that news story, he just sounds like he's lazy, which is like, I don't want to take 5 trips transporting all these chickens. I'm going to pile them all into one cage and just go, and some of them are going to die.
Let me tell you why he's not lazy. Because he's a multitasker. Because he shot a man in the leg while he was butchering a pig.
He's multitasking, I guess, yeah. I mean, whatever that man is.
If that's not 2 extreme activities to do at the same time, then I don't know what is.
Like, you are killing one thing while almost killing another one with a gun.
Yeah.
Kudos to him for having a knife and a gun on him at the same time. That's pretty hilarious. I like it. Anyways, so that's the weird news story for this week. Chime in, tweet at us at Stack and Smash. Let us know what you think about this man. Does he deserve to be in jail? I guess we think so. I mean, we think he deserves to be. I mean, I don't know how he wasn't in jail for shooting that guy in the first place.
He was in jail for 3 years for that.
Oh, he did 3 years.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's all you get for shooting a man in the leg. Anyways, all right. Well, how are we doing on Kilted Colin? We ready to roll? We're not ready to roll?
Yes, sir. This way. Don't look up.
We headed into Boston, Massachusetts to meet up with street performer Colin Campbell, also known as Kilted Colin, and we took a ride around Quincy Market for this segment we call Sitting in a Car with Kilted Colin.
That is cool looking.
All right.
Do that more often.
Should. We're in the car.
Yeah.
With the one and only Colin Campbell. I just pronounced your name weird.
Yeah, that's all right.
Campbell. So I remember back in high school, you were always all about doing your wall flips, and
Oh, yeah.
I remember you playing the bagpipes too.
Yeah.
What at what point did you decide to go into street performing?
I just was looking for a place to showcase my talents, and what place better than, you know, somewhere where you're judged all the time on everything you do.
Yeah, I guess so. Where was your first street performance? Like where
Harvard Square, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you get started? Do you just show up with your stuff and hope that they don't
Yeah.
throw you out?
Believe it or not, I was so intimidated when I first started. I went out with all my stuff, hung out for like 4 hours, and then went home.
You didn't even perform?
I didn't even perform. I was just too scared and nervous. It's just like head-on rejection.
If you're not good.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing.
Sense.
Even if you are good, you get rejected, and I've just really internalized it, and
Yeah.
you know,
You just gotta kind of.
I'm just crying on the inside, not on the outside.
It's the same thing with DJing.
Yeah.
Like when you know that you're playing music that people don't want to hear.
Oh, right.
You know, like even if because you can't. There's always somebody in a crowd that's not happy with what's going on. It's
Right.
probably a little bit different for you when you're performing, but there's always going to be someone that doesn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you just kind of pretend that they aren't there.
Yeah,
and
totally.
just kind of move on from it.
Like, I see you, but peripherally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretending that I'm enjoying myself.
I feel like that must happen a lot in weddings. I bet, because there's like a certain set list.
Yeah.
You know, DJs have to do at weddings.
I've been pretty lucky with weddings so far. I don't do too many of them, but when I
Yeah.
do them, like it's usually a friend, and they usually already know what they're getting into.
Oh, okay.
So they'll hire me because they're like, "Oh, Jesse's a crazy club DJ.
yes,
I'm bringing in
nice.
crazy club music to my wedding." You know,
Perfect.
even when
Yeah.
even when there's a wedding where there's country music and stuff like that, or there's a bit of a slower tempo, you know,
Right.
you can kind of.
They're getting what they're signing up for.
Yeah, exactly. And but I mean, you just kind of read the crowd and adjust. And they're good. And I always tell when I'm doing weddings, I always tell the couple or whatever that, I'm like, send me as many songs as you can. I'm like, I won't be annoyed with them.
Right.
I just want to make sure that you two are happy. That's
Totally.
all I care about.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And weddings are actually a little bit easier than a club gig, because most of the time you're just playing what they gave you on a list, and
Yeah.
then the rest of the time you're playing what they gave you. But the people come out there to have a good time.
Yeah.
At a bar, people might not be out there to dance. They might want to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's actually interesting because, you know, like everyone's in a good frame of mind, and that's the difference between a wedding and like a nightclub.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you might get some dude that just came there to get in a fist fight at
Right.
at a nightclub. You might get that at a wedding too, but
Yeah.
probably not as often.
No, it's the same thing with performing. It's like when you're on a stage somewhere, like at a fair, festival, cruise ship, whatever,
Yeah.
people are there to watch you, and they're there to have a good time.
Right.
So they're much more willing to play along and laugh. But when you're doing it on the street, you really have to convince people, and it's this like psychological mind game to like win them over.
And to get them to stand there. 'cause,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's always the option to just continue
Totally.
to walk.
Totally.
You know, and it's like, even when you get the people that are standing there that aren't reacting, in my opinion, like, that doesn't mean that they're not into the show. 'Cause
Right.
I'm a person, you know, when I'm at your show, I'm like, "Hey, Colin," because
Yeah,
I know
right,
you. But
right,
when
right.
when I'm seeing a different street performance, I'm the guy that is afraid to get.
You're like the
I don't
German
know,
tourist guy that just
Yeah,
stays
I
there
lack the ability to be a crowd participator. I don't know. I just like, whenever they're like, put one hand up, I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not gonna do
comfortable.
it. I hope everyone else does, because
Right.
I want it to be a good show. But
Right,
I'm just
of
like,
course.
meh.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch and see what goes on. I don't know.
Yeah. To each his own. What do you think of that armrest there? It's working out for you?
This is actually pretty good. You
Yeah.
should just ride around this, even if you're not gonna use it.
Yeah, I know.
Just for whoever's
Keep
in
the wheel. Gives it a little feng shui, you know?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Cool. What do you got coming up? Anything different, or you just kind of finish up the summer in Boston?
Oh, man. I'm working a lot in Boston. The 19th, I'm going to Canada for 2 busking festivals, and that'll be nice. I like to get out a little bit.
What part of Canada?
Ontario?
Nice.
Both Ontario. I might go to Toronto for a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's nice to travel. Have you been to Canada?
I went there when I was like 13, so I don't know
really?
much about it. Yeah.
Dang. I'm surprised you haven't been to like Montreal or anything.
I was practically in Canada last week. We were in like northern tip of Vermont,
Yeah.
which like another 15 minutes we would have been in Canada.
Right. So,
but it
i.e.
wasn't.
like nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the woods, pretty much.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah, but we didn't bring our passports. Otherwise, we probably would have just went up to Canada.
Oh man, you gotta go. Especially Montreal. You would love it.
Yeah.
Huge scene, party
Heard.
scene. It's great.
Heard.
Yeah, son. Yeah, I don't know.
What's the festival in Canada? What kind of stuff?
It's basically just a street performing festival where people are more, they're like there to watch street performing instead of going to perform on the street and be like, hey, watch me, hey.
Okay,
hey,
so you're going to
hey,
get a
watch
much
me.
more engaged crowd.
Yeah,
So
totally.
the festival is literally just for street performing?
Yeah, they're just like there. They're like, all right, we're going to see some street shows. So
that's cool.
You don't really have to convince any people. It's really nice.
Yeah,
it's relaxing.
they're there for that. Yeah,
Totally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's a good environment. I guess the only other thing is there's so much competition. Maybe people are always going to be putting you up to like, well, this guy was good, but he wasn't as good as this guy.
I give it
guess
my
you
A
get
plus
anyways.
material. They've got like this. They got a People's Choice Award, which is like favorite busker of the whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you try to like do your show, and then at the end of the show, like, hey,
vote for me.
Yeah, if you like the show, vote for me, and also give me all your money. And, that's,
how do they
it
do the
works.
voting? Is it through social media now, or is it like a ballot kind of
some
thing?
places have social media. Some places like you can vote online. Other places have
cards?
Yeah, like cards that you like write down your busker, and usually they do both. So
Have you done the tour in Canada or the festival in Canada before?
I did a festival in also in Ontario in July, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. This is the second year I've done it, but
Cool.
I'm excited to sort of do some other things and branch out a little bit.
Yeah.
How
How much has your act changed from like when you first started doing it to now?
Oh man, I'd say the kind of stuff I was doing to get a crowd before was ridiculous, and but you got to learn somehow. It probably took me like 2 years before I started being like, could call myself a street performer.
Oh, really?
It was a while, but you find out what works, and then you keep what works, throw away what doesn't. And I remember like when I started, I used to freestyle about the audience like while they were walking by to like try to get them to stop. I also did this weird like gangster dance. I had this other show that I was doing. It was called King of the Dance, where I had like dance tights and like a robe and a scepter.
Wow.
And but you start to realize real quick that the more theatrical kind of shows don't really work on the street, and you just need to like get to the goods.
Yeah, I think what you have going now is good. Granted, I didn't see what you were doing before,
Right,
but
right.
like what you're doing
Oh
now
man,
is
I wish you
very-
saw what I was doing before.
Yeah, like very almost like a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
type,
yeah.
like kind of make fun of yourself. A
Right,
little bit.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It definitely keeps your keeps your skills sharp, especially like your wit. I feel like my wit has gotten a lot stronger from street performing.
I can imagine, yeah, because you can see it too.
Yeah, you just
But,
try
I mean,
to.
I think there's a fine line, and you haven't crossed that fine line of being really witty and just being a dick.
Yeah, totally.
and
yeah,
you haven't crossed over
I
yet.
try
so
to
don't
have
let
that
yourself
like
more,
yeah, that
you know.
cocky balance sort
yeah,
of.
exactly. But
all right.
people respect it, and the other thing I think that really, in my eyes, what stood out was, you engage with people, but mainly the kids. Like there was one show, not today, but the other show a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago when I saw you where that little kid, like he'll never forget that.
Oh yeah.
Like he was, you couldn't get him to go away at one point, but like the smile that was on that little kid's face, it was like you made that kid's week, you
Yeah.
know, and potentially his month, and potentially changed him, as a person.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
like, because you did, you brought him out in front of a crowd. He probably never had that before, and everyone's clapping for him and cheering his name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when you threw, when you threw the baby.
Right. It sounds weird out of
It's part of
context,
the act,
but yeah.
When you threw the doll, anyways, off the thing, and he caught it on his first try.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if they all catch it on their
No,
first try.
sometimes
Probably not.
it takes a while.
I think he was more shocked than anybody else in the crowd. And
Oh,
I think
definitely.
everybody in the crowd was pretty shocked that he caught it on the first try.
Yeah,
too.
it's great. I actually got an email today about somebody who saw my performance like 2 years ago, and whose son was like the kid that I picked, and they were like, we're having this this birthday party. We'd love if you could come. Like, Zach still talks about your show, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, and yeah, that's really cool. It's a
I
cool
can
thing
imagine
to
that. Yeah, that's
to
something
have.
that, if I was a kid and that happened, which I'm trying to think if maybe probably didn't anyways, but if, that would be one of those memories that I think sticks with you forever, especially, being up in front of a crowd and people applauding you and
Yeah.
stuff like that is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
instead of
Yeah,
them
remember stuff like
booing,
that.
try to.
Yeah, throwing stuff at you.
Yeah, exactly. Catch this knife.
It's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah,
We're probably
you
going to
too.
go do all of this again, but the It was cool. Follow Colin on Twitter at kiltedcolin.
Yeah.
Go to your website,
Yeah.
kiltedcolin.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to keep people like because people have a hard time pronouncing it, so I try to do like the Mickey Mouse jingle, like KILTEDCOLIN.com, and that's how you
You
do
should
it.
record that.
I
do,
should.
Like, the jingle.
Yes,
log
when
on
you
the site.
get on the site. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah, and then they could be like people's ringtones. Like if you text me,
Yes.
it'll just play
Love
the
it.
whole thing.
Ah,
Then it'll be the intro to our show. And then
Yes.
we'll put it as the outro to the show. And then I'll use that as every song I DJ.
and that'll be the national anthem.
Then that's how it's those
Right.
are the actual steps
Yes.
to creating a national
Right.
anthem. So
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right, cool. Well, it was a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
First ever interview in a car.
Yes.
And
we did it.
we'll see if
I
it
think that's
works.
pretty badass.
Yeah, it's not bad, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Pretty cool. He's looking at my.
Yeah.
I took it out for the rest of the interview.
Just
You
thinking
can't
that.
see it. Yeah.
It was hot.
All right. It was good. It was
Yeah.
good. All right.
Sitting in a car with Kilted Colin. Big thanks to Kilted Colin, a.k.a. Colin Campbell. You can follow him on Twitter at Kilted Colin, or visit his website, kiltedcolin.com. Joining us in studio right now, we have our pal, old-time friend, wonderful lyricist, great rapper. His name is ATAC, and his official album with our actual favorite Casher just dropped last night. They had their album release party.
Yes.
Welcome to Stack. Yeah, thanks for showing
Push the
up.
new album. I just kind of shot up here after I dropped off my son and my mom, and
You should stop shooting up. It's bad for
oh
you.
yeah, I can't.
Not a good
Can't
thing,
do it,
man.
man. Sorry, I need help.
But whatever makes you comfortable on Stack of Smash Radio, that's what it's about here.
Yeah,
so.
just gotta shoot up.
Well, welcome to the show. Congratulations on the album. It looks pretty legitimate. You got a stack of them here.
Yes, I do. I wasn't sure
awesome.
what to expect, so I was like, I'll just bring a bunch so I can overcompensate like I always do.
Yeah, of course. How long you guys been working on the new album?
It's kind of been 2 years in the making. And we just kind of finished the album within 2 months. It was a quick process just because we would work the same schedule. We would come home and then just work on music every day. Put his kids to sleep and then work on music.
Moving to Oklahoma helped that out?
It did a lot, actually. It like kind of eliminated everybody else that was a distraction. It just kept it like him and I, and then his wife, who does a lot of our graphics and shoots our videos and all that stuff too. So it was able to kind of get rid of the distractions and just keep it him and I working together for once, because we normally work across the country all the time. You know that. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to actually get a feel for a song. So everything was able to like sit down and be like, no, that doesn't sound good. Let's do it this way. And
everything's better in person. In theory, you think like a lot of the work that you do as a musician could be done like through the internet, just sending stuff back and forth, which sometimes works. But I mean, like a lot of times, you know, it really prolongs the process. Because, you know, if you're in the same room, you could be like, no, change this pattern this way. No, let's write this verse this way. Let's write the chorus this way. It's just so much easier to work in person.
Yeah, it literally takes like an extra 5 hours to fix like 10 seconds of a song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, which you can do in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
next to each other.
Saves a little bit of time.
So that's cool. So basically, if you're a rapper and you're looking to make it, and you're looking like, what is the next step? Move to Oklahoma, you idiot.
Don't do it. Not unless you know somebody there, because you'll probably get kidnapped and forced to make meth or something. I don't know.
So I have a question for you, ATAC. While you guys have been talking, have you noticed the sexual pose that Jesse has gotten going on here?
It happens.
Just trying to get all up on me?
I'm just trying to make this show right.
You gotta
just trying to make it go.
You gotta get the
well.
viewers somehow. I mean, you gotta have the most handsome one making sexual poses.
We're here to
I
do
can
what
try.
we gotta
Hold on.
do on Stack and Smash Radio. Don't you get it?
Does this work?
Well,
is this good?
And that's how we get canceled.
There we go.
Oh,
all right,
wow.
thank you for tuning in to Stack and Smash Radio. We
We're
have been canceled.
Oh, good. Thank God.
No, so congratulations on the album. You have a massive parental advisory sticker, which says explicit. This is a PG show, so we gotta cover that up. But you have 13 tracks on the new album. What's your favorite track?
My favorite track it's kind of a tie between the outro, which is called Let Me Breathe. It features one of our good friends, Champ. He's from Chicago, but he lives in Arkansas, so on the way driving back from Oklahoma, we stopped there. We made a song with him, and it kind of just kind of happened. I made my verse to it in like 5 minutes, which never happens. I take 5 years to write a verse usually, and it kind of set the tone for it. My other favorite one is actually Casher's single song. It's called Can You Call? It's about his kid and everything. His older son lives in Massachusetts, and between the military and work and all that stuff, he's kind of been moving around a lot. So
his son's older than him?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yep.
That's impressive.
It is.
Yeah. This is why we brought him on the show. We bring people that can just have groundbreaking scientific phenomenons.
He also had a baby himself, so Disney is going to be owned by Cash and ATAC soon. I got like 1% of 1% of that.
There you go.
It was a good agreement.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's still like $1 million.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So the album is out. You can swing by the Greatest Bar.
Or
And pick up a physical copy, one of about 10 that's here. So you can come by the Greatest Bar. We're here in Boston, Massachusetts, 262 French Street. We'll be here all night. We'll be here until 2 in the morning partying and selling albums and doing crazy stuff like that.
Where else can they pick it up?
It's also, we did it yesterday because we're wicked last minute about everything, but it'll be available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find it. We're just waiting for the email back saying that it hit their stores. So
Yeah, definitely. In my experiences, iTunes usually takes like 3 to 5 days. So
not bad. So probably next
it'll
week.
be available soon.
And well, guys, just to let you know, our Comic-Con piece is ready to go.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But that is cool. So follow ATAC on Twitter at official ATAC. Casher, my favorite, is also on Twitter. So if you want to follow him instead, that's fine.
I don't
You can
know.
only follow one of them.
Yeah. You should probably just follow me because.
And if you were to decide,
listen.
then then you got to listen to me. This is my show, and I'm gonna do this well.
Listen, I run all the social media pretty much. Me and Casher's wife. He just likes to make music and be lazy. Okay, we love him. I know you love him a little bit too much. I understand that. You probably have pictures of him on your wall, but
I'm choked up.
Breathe.
Thank you.
Just breathe.
Thank you.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. You'll be okay. But I do
So
all the
follow
social.
Casher, don't follow ATAC.
Or you can just follow us both, or like us
Nah,
both
we can
on
only follow
Facebook,
one.
Cash
We
and
can
ATAC.
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Just follow Casher.
Just follow him. Add him.
Anyways, the new album entitled
You're welcome.
You're
to.
Welcome. That's arrogant. You're welcome too. Was there You're Welcome 1?
There was. It was an EP. It was out on Bandcamp. We just kind of released it for free.
You should have named this one You're Still Welcome.
You're still welcome. You're welcome more.
You're welcome
But
again.
it makes it more arrogant the way we spelt it and everything.
It does,
too.
yeah, and the 2 is like sticking out of the side of your head. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
That was actually part of my hair. So
That's impressive, yeah. And kudos to your barber who did that. Gave you the mohawk with
yeah.
the 2 coming out of the side. Very impressive stuff.
It's some unique stuff.
Anyways, the album is available, physical copy here. If you want to swing by 262 Friend Street in Boston, Massachusetts, you can pick it up. Or you can download it on iTunes the next couple days. We'll tweet out a link from Stack and Smash. ATAC, thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. It's good to see you. Look forward to partying with you
for
tonight.
having me.
And if you guys are around, swing by Boston, Massachusetts, the Greatest Bar. You can pick up a copy yourself. Right now, we're going to jump into our segment from Comic-Con. Hello, friends. I'm Jesse Wilkins.
I'm Rob Coakley.
We are Stack and Smash Radio, and we are live right now, Boston, Massachusetts. We're outside of Boston Comic-Con. We're about to go in there, interview a few people, get some good content. Stack and Smash Radio, Boston Comic-Con. A lot of fun people out here. Should be a good time.
Let's do it.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jesse Wilkins.
I'm Rob Coakley.
We are from Stack and Smash Radio, DirtyWaterNews.com, live from Comic-Con, Boston, Massachusetts. We're here with Josh Dahl, the writer of Rapid City, Below Zero, and everything else Rapid City?
Pretty much, yes.
All right, so how's everything been going so far? Kicking off today in Comic-Con. What's going on? What's the vibe out here?
The first day is always a little slow. People are getting the bearing, getting the lay of the land, but it's going great. Everyone's in a good mood, great attitude. So far, it's awesome.
Awesome. And I know you're promoting the Below Zero right now,
Yes.
which Rob's holding a copy of.
Issue number 1 in my hands. Come and buy it.
Awesome. So what's going on with this? What's the whole concept behind it?
Rapid City Below Zero is a supervillain revenge drama. It's about the main character, Icicle. She's a supervillain. Her friends are supervillains. They get betrayed by the boss of their crew and left for dead. Her boyfriend is murdered. And in issue 1, they're left underground. She has to fight her way back to the surface before declaring that she needs revenge on this guy Coyle.
Wow, very cool stuff. Now, are you touring with Comic-Con, or are you just doing Boston, or what's the plan?
I'm from Somerville. Just doing Boston. I'm doing Granite State Con next month, September 13th in New Hampshire, and then whatever happens after that.
Awesome.
That's pretty awesome, man. You said that you've been to more than one of these at this point. So obviously you can't rank this one yet, but do you see it growing every year in Boston? Is it getting better?
Like you wouldn't believe. Boston had conventions kind of back in the day, and they just petered out and died. This thing came back, I think maybe 7 years ago, and it's just like a hotel ballroom. Real small, few vendor tables, and it's been bigger and bigger and bigger. Last year, as you may be aware, it was scheduled to be the weekend after the marathon bombing, right downtown. They had to cancel it. What happened right then was all the artists and stuff who were in town for that show just said it and went ahead and did a convention anyway. So at every little comic shop, in like people's backyards, there were like major artists showing up. And like all the fans who had come in from out of town were just wandering around to all these different places all over the city. And it created such a like positive group vibe, unity thing that when they rescheduled it last summer, for August, everyone was so positive. Usually at a show like this, the Doctor Who people are into the Doctor Who thing, the cosplayers are the cosplayers, toy dealers are toy dealers, and it's like 10 different things. Last year, everyone was loving everyone's thing. Everyone was happy about this, big guys, little guys, and it's still here today. It's so friendly.
Yeah, so there's a much better vibe, right?
Yeah, it's like everyone's hanging out and enjoying stuff they enjoy together.
Let's talk a little bit more about your backstory. You said that you work with kids and stuff like that, and go a little more into depth on that. I don't know too many details, so I'll let you talk about it.
I'm a teacher at a DYS facility. I teach English, and I work every day with locked up teenage boys. So, relating to the comic, like I told you earlier, numerically, most of the people I know in my life are criminals. So, I tend to write them as people. I tend to think of them as people. Bad, damaged, harmful people, but people.
So just it's basically you're taking your life experiences and just putting them on a grander stage in your comics. So there's a lot of psychology in the books.
Every book I write is about me. All these stories are true, even though they didn't really happen. My other book, Rapid City Objects at Rest, is literally about, it's a one-to-one metaphor for me writing the comic. On the first page, when the character says, I need a name, that's because I needed a name for the character. I hadn't come up with it yet. And as he learns to be a superhero, I was learning how to write a superhero comic book. All these stories are about me.
That's pretty cool. Let's talk a bit about the illustrator. So you're the writer,
yes.
The illustrator. What was his name?
This is done by Anand Kaviraj, who I've never met in person, lives in California. We work together on these 4 issues, and there's a few more issues kind of in the pipeline that for production reasons, that's being held up. And the guy's a machine. He just cranks out pages.
Cool. Is that the same one on the new one, or is it someone different on the new one?
This is by Sean Langley, who I started working with at about this time last year. Gears started turning, and this book came out.
Awesome.
That's pretty awesome, man. So why don't you just give us a heads up on where we can get this in case anyone that's watching can't make it to Comic-Con this weekend. Just a couple outlets where we can pick it up. Also, if you're on any social media, where we can find you.
If you search Rapid City Comic or Josh Dahl Rapid City Comic, you can find me on Facebook. It's at Rapid City Comic on Twitter. And if you go to belowzerocomic.com, you can find everything you need.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks
So,
a lot, man.
Stack of Smash Radio, live from the Rapid City station. What would you call this?
Booth, table.
The booth, the table. Anyways, Rapid City, if you're coming to Comic-Con, if you're going to be here at all this weekend, swing by Rapid City, check out his stuff. Below Zero is the product that they're pushing. Stack of Smash Radio. Once again, thank you so much. All right, we're live here at the Boston Comic-Con. We're at the O'Neill FX Studios with Jeremy. He's the man, the genius behind all these masks, makes them, sells them online. Let's talk about what this is. You came down from Manchester, New Hampshire, if I'm correct, and how's it been so far?
So far, I mean, it's just great for the people watching. And then, you know, if people come around, they're looking at all the drawings and paintings, and then people are just like, holy crap, what's this? These are awesome. And they don't quite understand it. You know, it's like someone made this. And
We actually saw you from across the thing, and we're like, we definitely have to get him on the show today.
Oh,
so.
it's like karma, right? You know, you see that person across the room, and you just got to come meet them. I understand. It's this. Yeah.
So how'd you get into doing this such crazy, evil-looking stuff? I mean, like, what brought you into it?
I had to figure out a way to pay for my art degree. You know,
that's one way to do it.
Yeah, man, just doing drawing and you know, growing up on a good steady diet of comic books and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. Got into special effects makeup and realized there wasn't a whole lot of money in it around here. So we started making these silicone masks about a year and a half ago, and it's really been you know, a big boost to the business.
Do sales skyrocket around Halloween, or is it kind of steady year-round?
They really do. It gets insane around then. The rest of the time we sell to movies, improv groups, even detective agencies and stuff like that.
Are they wearing this as disguises?
Maybe.
Anything gruesome to the detective agencies? They run around in devil masks or anything?
Yeah, no, because that's an easy, you know, you already assume that it's a devil underneath it. But they like to dress up like the old men, because they figure no one's going to think twice about lighting up next to an old guy at a concert. Then all of a sudden this 24-year-old black belt jumps on you and, you know, ninjas your ass to the ground. You know, and so that's, you know, but we sold to bank robbers too. So we like to work each side of the fence. We like to say that your O'Neill FX Studios mask will pay for itself in its first bank heist.
I would hope so.
Yeah. And if you paid double,
marketing campaign.
And you know, if you paid double, I never saw you.
Well, that's it here. We're at the O'Neill FX booth. Visit them online. Is it O'NeillFX.com?
O'NeillFXstudios.com.
O'NeillFXstudios.com.
And somebody buy me the Joker mask, because that thing is freaking awesome.
Buy two if you love him.
So swing by if you're coming by Boston Comic Con. Swing by the O'Neill FX booth and check out these crazy, awesome, gruesome masks, and you won't be disappointed.
No, you won't.
We're here with a bunch of cosplayers. We're gonna have them go through, tell us who they are, who they're dressing up as, and their experiences they're having here at Comic-Con this year. Start with you.
I'm Isabella, and I'm dressed up as Marceline from Adventure Time. She's half demon, half vampire.
Oh, you really have vampire, half demon in real life?
Yeah, you know,
I figured
I
you
think
were.
everyone would vouch for that.
Yeah, seems right.
So yeah, I love it. I love it.
That's pretty awesome.
Hi.
My favorite.
Thanks. I'm Sarah. I'm Sergeant Hatred from Venture Brothers. Go to Venture. And I've never actually been to Comic-Con. I've been to a lot of like geek conventions, but this is my first actual Comic-Con.
Right.
So, and all of my friends / coworkers are here, and this is like their first time. So I'm so proud of them.
Nice. How about you?
I'm Rainbow Bright. I'm fighting darkness and gloom and bringing color and happiness to the world.
And how's that going for you?
It's going really well, actually. I feel like I am bringing color and happiness to the world right now.
How much darkness have you fought just today?
Just a couple times, just a little bit. I could do better. I have pictures.
Oh.
I have pictures, yeah. I could fight more darkness.
All right. We'll get your darkness fighting abilities up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go over here. And now for you. Who are you today?
So I'm Ashley, and I'm Beauty from Beauty and the Beast. And this is my first time here, so I'm really excited.
Nice.
And
This is your first Comic-Con all together?
all together.
And you guys having fun?
Yeah, we're loving it.
All right, that's awesome. And how about you?
I'm Chansey, the lovable fairy-type Pokemon. And this is actually my second Comic-Con, so...
So just today alone, how many Pokemon have you caught?
I am a Pokemon, so this is actually my ball.
Oh, okay. So you're not a trainer, so I just ruined that whole segment.
Yeah, basically.
All right, cool. That's what I do.
All right, well, thank you guys so much, and enjoy your stay. Are you guys here for the whole weekend or just today?
Here tomorrow. Different costumes, so.
Oh, you're going to change it up. What are you thinking? What are you going to go for next time?
It's gonna be Lady Deathstrike, claws and all.
Nice.
Really? How about you? Are you changing up or are you staying the same?
I'm gonna be Lisbeth Salander, like girl from the Dragon Tattoo. So I have like fake piercings and full tattoo. I actually have a full back tattoo, so I like got that part down.
For Comic-Con. You got the whole back tattoo just for this?
Exactly, just only for Comic-Con.
And that's how devoted we hope all of you are. Well, that's it for us. Stack and Smash Radio, live from Comic-Con Boston. We'll see you guys for the rest of the show, I suppose. All right, thank you.
Open it.
Help you open it?
Just put your arm underneath. There you go. Yeah.
Hold it right there. Oh, I'm not. Never mind. All right. I'm gonna stand over this way.
Ah, thank you. He gave me a plum, everybody.
All right. See you.
And that is the best segment of the show by far. All right, guys, and that's it for us here at the Boston Comic Con 2014. You guys still have 2 more days that you can get down here. If you, I can't even take this serious, but it's pretty awesome. So you got 2 more days. You got Saturday, you got Sunday. Get down here. Enjoy the days with people like this. We got Spider-Man, we got Batman, we have Bane, Magneto's lurking. Get down here, have a blast, buy some stuff.
That was our segment from Comic-Con. If you're in the Boston area, I would highly suggest swing by. There's 2 more days of it, Saturday, Sunday. Amazing stuff. We had fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We might actually be there Sunday.
So look out for us. Maybe we'll grab some more content Sunday. Who knows? Big thank you to Kilted Colin for coming on the show. Colin was fantastic. Again, kiltedcolin.com. Big thank you to A-Tech. Congratulations on the album. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. No problem.
Shake my hand.
Only follow Casher, though.
Make sure you follow Casher
What
on
about
Twitter.
me?
This has been episode 16 of Stack and Smash Radio. I'm Jesse Wilkins. You can follow me on Twitter at DoubleTakeJesse.
I'm Rob Coakley. I'm at King Coakley.
Follow the show and subscribe on iTunes. We're on iTunes, and Dirty Water News Radio is now on iTunes. We're giving away a pair of Red Sox tickets to people who subscribe. We're only giving away 1 pair, so if you're going to subscribe to it. Send us a screenshot once you subscribe, and we're going to pick 1 lucky winner to give a pair of Red Sox tickets to. You could be the lucky winner. Go on iTunes, subscribe, Dirty Water News Radio, and that's pretty much it. So we'll be back next week with Dirty Water TV live from the Greatest Bar. Come party with us 10 to 2 a.m. After party tonight. It's going to be fun. Tonight.
Can I cheat? Can I just have the Red Sox tickets? I'll subscribe and everything.
No, you can't.
All right.
You can't.
All right.
Anyway, guys, that's been our show. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.